Some people think the greatest miracle is when God opens blind eyes. But what if His greatest sign is the breath still moving in your lungs? What if the wonder you've been praying for is already standing in the middle of your storm? Tonight you'll understand that the God who opened seas, raised the dead, and fed the hungry is still working miracles for those who trust Him. I stood where the prayers felt unanswered, with tears falling down like rain, holding a Bible full of promises, but carrying a heart full of pain. I watched years disappear in silence, watched dreams fade one by one, yet every page of your holy word kept telling me you weren't done. Like Moses facing Pharaoh, like David before the giant saw, you never asked for perfect people, only hearts that trust the Lord. When my faith was hanging by a thread, your mercy carried me instead, and every scar became a testimony. You're the God of signs and wonders, the God who parts impossible seas, the God who still moves mountains, the God who still hears desperate pleas. You turn graves into gardens, you turn broken chains into victory. Yesterday, today, forever, you're still working miracles for me.
God of signs and wonders,
God of signs and wonders,
God of signs and wonders.
I remember Daniel in the lion's den, 3 men standing in the fire. The same God who walked beside them then still answers every believer's cry. When sickness comes like a shadow, when fear knocks on my door, your word reminds my weary soul you've conquered death forevermore. The cross became the greatest wonder, an empty tomb the greatest sign. The Lamb of God defeated darkness and gave this broken heart new life. So when I cannot see your hand, I choose to trust your perfect plan, because your promises never fail. You're the God of signs and wonders, the God who parts impossible seas, the God who still moves mountains, the God who still hears desperate pleas. You turn graves into gardens, you turn broken chains into apart. Bring prodigals home, restore what was lost. Show this generation the power of the cross. Let heaven fall upon the weary. Let mercy flood the soul in need. Let every knee bow down, declaring Jesus Christ is King indeed. Father, for every listener hurting tonight,
Be their shelter.
be their shelter. For every heart carrying grief,
Be their comfort.
for every family waiting on a miracle, be their breakthrough.
Be their breakthrough.
For every believer losing hope, remind them who you are. The God who never changes, the God who never fails, the God whose power has no ending. You're the God of signs and wonders, Alpha and Omega,
Prince of Peace.
the God who calms the raging waters, the God whose love will never cease. You turn mourning into dancing, you turn captivity into release. Yesterday, today, forever, your mighty works will never cease.
God of signs and wonders.
God of signs and wonders,
God of signs and wonders.
when history is written, when every kingdom falls away, one truth will stand forever. The God of signs and wonders still reigns today. Amen. Amen.